Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out this morning. I know that you don't have class, so I really appreciate you coming and keeping me company. Especially that technology didn't work so well for us on the first day, which is okay. You know, thank God I can improvise. But I wanted to bring you in. I actually had this class set prior to yesterday because I feel that the GoTo training or the GoTo meeting sessions are an option for you that not everyone takes advantage of. It gives us the opportunity when we're not in class to conversate with each other. If there is a question or a concern or anything that you would like me to look at as you are progressing in any of the projects that you're doing this month, just email me. We can set up a time during my office hours and we can meet remotely where you don't have to be on campus. And then the days that I'm not on campus, and at home, you can meet with me and ask me questions. So this GoTo software is awesome. And one of the things I love about it is never, well, I won't say never, but the fact that I'm also an online instructor as well, and the fact that I could talk to my students that are overseas or in different zip codes still blows my mind that we have technology that will do that, that has upped the game in communication and conversation. So we have so much power at our fingertips, and it really, like I said in class, it's up to us to take advantage of all this power, because we really do. We have this power at our fingertips that wasn't available, I would say, even 10 years ago or just starting. So please, through the course of this month, if you need any help whatsoever, just email me, message me, we'll set something up in this session. Okay, what I usually do, and it's hard with a big class, but I'm gonna count down from 3, and then I'm gonna open your microphones. I want you all to say good morning to each other, and we'll see if it's, you know, a traffic jam of voices. But I want to give you a taste about what it sounds like in GoTo training. So 3, 2, 1.
Hello.
Good morning. What up?
Hey. Good morning.
Oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Usually it sounds like a 50-car pileup in here. But it doesn't sound that bad. So what I'll do is I'll keep the mics open until we hear some feedback in the background. Is anyone experiencing an echo?
No, man.
No.
No? Okay, cool. All right, since you guys don't see my control panel, I took a screenshot. And here's the screenshot, just so you know. All of you should have this on your desktop, okay? So there's several things that you can do. You can view the people that are in the room by dropping down this arrow. This will show you everyone in the room. The chat box that many of you have found already is down here. And this is where you can ask me a question. However, it goes by very, very fast, especially if all of you are asking a question at once or talking to each other. So there is a function that is below all the names, and it's where I can mute and unmute your mics, which I think I'm going to do because there's a lot of background conversation going on. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But where you could mute and unmute your mics, there is a button on the side of that. It looks like a glove with an arrow pointed through it. So if you located that, please press on that. And what that does is show me that your hand is raised, and I can go and scroll down and see that your hand is raised and you have a question. Cool? Okay, awesome. Got it. Awesome. Okay, so mainly what I brought you in here for is to go through the platform and just show you that you have all these things available to you throughout the entire month. And to make you successful, show you where to find the important information, especially announcements, because I am going to provide you with everything that you need to be successful in this class the entire month. So I'm gonna hold up my bargain, and if you utilize it, there's no way that you can fail this course. If you meet the deadlines, if you plan your time accordingly, if you're going into the platform and you're looking at the announcements and you're reading the emails, um, looking at the example links that I give you, you're going to be successful in here. Now, I totally understand. It is the first month. It's an adjustment. It's some of you moved here overseas. Some of you have moved here from other states. Florida is brand new to you. Full Sail is brand new to you. This platform, this online, everything is new to you. So I understand this, especially going through the program myself, and I empathize with you. But trust me that the best thing that you can do for yourself is ask questions. So if anything it comes up that is confusing, or you can't find something, even though you feel like, oh, she went over this, or I read this, I know I read this, but I forgot. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask. Assumptions get you in trouble. So if you don't feel comfortable asking me again, reach out to your classmates. Your classmates are an asset to you this entire month. So the discussion boards are up there. The community discussion board is up there the entire month. So why not go in and ask your classmates, hey, what are you guys doing for this section of the assignment? I'm kind of stuck. Can someone help me out? So utilize each other. You're each other's best supporters. Okay, so let's start with the platform. Okay, so I know that you're all familiar with this because we went here yesterday. And there's a few things that I'm going to point out that are the best ways for you to succeed this month. Okay, so I mentioned yesterday this envelope icon right here. This envelope icon is going to give you a drop-down box. Conveniently, when they revamped this platform, they put the word announcements right smack in the middle, which is awesome because all you have to do is click on that and it's going to give you the announcements. Now, my screen is a little bit different because I have set up future announcements. So you won't have all of this all at once. However, there are a lot of things that I sent you on Sunday. I hope that didn't really intimidate you. It's really there to help you the entire month. That these are up there. There are links that you could refer to throughout the entire month. And if you have a question, there's references on your announcements. So I sent this one out yesterday, and these videos, very, very short, but these videos are some of the things that I'm going to be referring to in lecture tomorrow. Some of them are TED Talks, some of them are available if you registered with Safari Books, like the bio video and the writer's journey, even Sparkline. This is all stuff that is available to you in the Safari Books. Okay, you have my contact information. I give 2 email addresses. One is the Full Sail directly. The other one is a Gmail address. Stephanie has put her email address also. So like I said, you guys have 2 for the price of 1 this semester. As she noted to you guys, this is her first month at Full Sail, and I'm taking her under my wing this month. So be very, very kind, and I'm very happy to have her. I'm extremely excited to have her in our class, and that we could all learn from each other. Then there's a multimedia copy of Resonate. So this is if you are having trouble getting into Safari Books, one, call FSO support immediately to get that rectified. But in the meantime, if you are waiting to get access to Safari Books, there's a multimedia copy of Resonate that you could start, especially this week. That's available to you. And other stuff like contacting your advisor if you need to. But this is where I'm going to give you your information. I will send you some helpful links. I'll give you links to examples of past projects that can help you visualize. Because some of the times it's where do I start, Miss V? How do I even begin to build this? So I provide some examples. Now, it does not mean that that is the absolute thing that I'm looking for. The really cool thing about this course is we don't teach the technology. It is the concepts about, utilizing Nancy Duarte's philosophies on presentations. So when it comes to building a presentation or building an assignment, the program is going to be up to you. There's all different levels in this classroom. There's all different backgrounds. There's a diversity of skill. So what I want you to do ultimately is you utilize your strengths. Use something that you feel comfortable in and you have found success with in the past. Now, there are those of you that want to be challenged and desire to learn. And someone used color out of the lines yesterday, which was brilliant. And I'm going to show you on the platform where you can find that education and you can get those skills. So delivery really is going to be up to you this month, and there are a plethora of things that you can use as resources to do so. Any questions so far? Cool. So what do you guys think about GoTo so far? Is this something you think you'll use in the future? If I wake up on time? Cool. So most of you really like it. And as far as if you wake up on time, the hours are going to be set to you. So whatever time that you need during my office hours, you just email me and let me know. Now, not to say that we all have different schedules, we have responsibilities and jobs. If there comes a time where you need to meet, and it's after hours, just ask me. That's all I ask, is that you email me and you ask me. And then we can see if I could work something out for after hours. Sound cool? Cool. All right, so that's announcements, and announcements are important. They're imperative. It really, it's going to answer a lot of your questions before you ask them, if that makes sense. This bell in the corner is notifications, and that's, that's when I post a grade, or I make a comment on the discussion board, or someone has made a comment to your post on the discussion board. So think of this little guy as that little red flag on Facebook that someone liked your comment, or someone posted a comment on your initial post. Josh asked the question, would it be green if we have a question or red? Do you mean in this session? When you raise your hand? Or, yes. Okay, it's actually, it appears as a red icon, and the hand shows up next to your name. That's how I know. Okay, so it looks like, and forgive me if I say your name wrong, but Santel Medina has a question. Is that from before, or do you have a question? Just type it in the chat box. Oh, no worries. The other one I see is Rami. Do you have a question? No, Miska. All right, cool. No worries. But that's how that works. If you press on the hand, it'll appear next to your name. Okay. Oh, Josh, that's why you asked. Good question. Do you have a question to ask, or you're good? Awesome. Okay, so the bell is notifications. This little person icon right here, that's how you get it into your account. And I'm going to take a few minutes on this because I think it's very important for you to start building your brand, building your online presence. Even though you're a campus student, being able to identify your face with your name, especially in the first 4 months. You're in a mixed class, or the first 2 months, forgive me. You're in a mixed class. They're pretty huge, as you can see from yesterday. Um, and it's awesome to have a place to go to correlate that face with the name. So if you go up to the person icon and you hit manage account, it brings you to this page. Right here is where you can upload a picture of yourself. Now, sometimes it can take up to 24 hours to appear. It has to go through an approval process, but all you have to do is save a picture of yourself on your desktop, and then you drop and drag it in, okay? And then it'll be grayed out until it gets approved and will appear on the platform. This way, especially when you start getting into group projects, your classmates can go in and see your name and see the face of that name. So it's very good for facial recognition. It's great for networking. Um, people start to recognize who you are. I will tell you a quick story. My first master's degree that I took on at Full Sail, like I said, it was all online. I was not working here at the time. I was a full-time high school teacher, and you could see how small this icon is. It was even smaller when I was in school in 2010. And my professors had a brunch before graduation, and they invited everybody that was going to come to graduation, come to this meet and greet brunch before. So I walk in, and at that time we were using nicknames, and they recognized me as soon as I walked in. I never met any of them. It was all online, and it was just by my picture, and they knew who I was, which was amazing because you wouldn't think that you would have that connection with your instructors being online and being in this sea of people. Who knows how many people? So, moral of the story is get your picture up there. Um, that's a little side homework assignment for you to upload your picture here. The other thing, it'll have your student ID number, it'll have where you reside. You can have an alternative email. I posted my Twitter account and LinkedIn. I gave some extra stuff, and I need to erase that. That is from last class, so I apologize. And then email preferences. Down here, it's going to give you options to have that follow-up email. Whether I have student preferences, but you'll have instructor preferences also. So when I post a new grade, you can opt for it to alert you via email. That's I posted a grade. Okay. Cool. Any questions? Awesome. Okay, so just a few things. I told you guys that it would be short and sweet, so just a few things. The activities tab. Activities tab is going to give you everything that you need. right now, what's open for you on this side is everything that will help you get started before the class, and week 1 is open. Okay, so a few things. Integrative learning. I was talking about this a little bit in class yesterday. And I know, guys, I know that the first day is overwhelming. There's so much information. And that's why I like to follow it up with this GoTo session, because there is so much information. And then some of you have PYP right after, and then it's even more information. So take a deep breath. Know that I speak from experience, that it seems extremely overwhelming right now, and that maybe you feel like you're underwater and can't breathe. But trust me that it gets easier. Not in the sense that the workload gets easier, it's just that things are going to start to become second nature. And it's going to be an innate thing that you do, like check the platform and check your emails and know how to do a screenshot and know how to submit. All these things, trust me, are going to build up throughout this month. And as you progress, it's going to be something that happens automatically. I promise. And again, I'm talking from experience. My first day, it was like Christmas Day, and the first time I ever had to speak publicly in front of class. Like, it was extremely exciting and extremely nerve-wracking at the same time. And I thought my throat was going to close and I was going to hyperventilate. But I found my way, and you guys will find your way, trust me. Okay, so the first thing, of course, there's the course overview, and then there's the integrative learning. Oh, I'm sorry, Corey. That happens sometimes. I will let you know that I am recording this session, so I will be providing you with the recorded link after we get out of the session, and you'll be able to reference this throughout the month. Okay, so integrated learning hours. These are hours that are set outside of class. Know that we only have you for 2 hours 3 times a week. That doesn't add up to all the accreditation hours for the course. It kind of makes sense, that's kind of a small amount of hours to be together to get the credits you need for the class. So there's activities, and these activities are set up to complement everything that you're gonna learn. So it's kind of like you're learning the strategies, we're practicing them together, and then you're applying them by doing these activities. Make sense so far? Cool. Okay, so each of the activities add up to attendance hours. So these are connected to your attendance, and I want to make that clear. It could be very easily, this could affect your passing the class. Attendance hours are extremely important to be on top of. So, like I said, and I'm gonna go over the first one with you in the session today. So I will be reminding you. It's not something that is gonna float out of your head and forget. I will remind you. and they're not set up to be so time consuming. It's basically they're fun activities to apply nature to apply what you are gonna use throughout the entire month and give you a sense of all the things that are available to create this spectacular presentation by the end of the month. And it's interaction. It's getting you guys to communicate with each other outside of lecture, and stay connected and build that community. Community is huge. You want that support the entire time that you're here. You want that sense of community and belong. You want that pool of people that you trust and respect to feed off of each other and support each other. Because I will tell you that going through the program, there will be times that you will call upon each other for things that you need. So know that you need each other. And if you start building those relationships now, you are setting yourself up for success. Okay, so let's go to the first one. Okay. Just to let you know that it may look like I had to click on different things. It's because my screen looks a lot different than yours. But no, when you go into an activity, all you have to do is click on the activity, and that's gonna bring you right into a discussion board or right into the window that gives you all the assets. Before I show you what that learning activity looks like, the community discussion board is one that is up there the entire month. This is your board. This is if you want to share a SoundCloud, if you want to share a YouTube channel, if you want to share any other contact information, social media that you use, if you find inspirational videos and you want to carry on the conversation, if you want to elicit help for maybe a side project that you are working on and you want to recruit people, use the community discussion board. So, what I did, and I'm so extremely happy that you guys are utilizing this already. But of course, I go in and made that initial post. I share a video from, and the speaker is Eric Thomas, which I love. He has so much power and motivation, and passion in his voice that I'm addicted. uh, and I posed the question, how do you plan to be limitless? And I have to say that I'm so impressed by the maturity of this class. It's amazing, especially at this level, how deeply you guys think already, which I think is amazing. And I hope it becomes contagious. I hope it continues on throughout the entire month. So I invite you guys, if you have something that has motivated you or evoked emotion and you want to have a conversation about it, post it on here. You know, post it. Have those discussions. This class is so much more than just meeting the benchmarks for accreditation. It's so much more than that. It's about building community, um, starting to develop your brand and online presence and networking, and making those connections with each other and building relationships. So again, I know I sound like a broken record, but communicate with each other, utilize everything that is available to you, and it will make you happy. It'll keep you happy, it'll keep you motivated, and you'll want to come to campus, and you'll want to open up the platform every day. It's a way to give you that incentive. Okay. So community discussion board. All right. The first interactive activity, and I always forget that I had to do one more step. Forgive me. Okay. Okay. With every assignment, there is an objective. So it's going to give you kind of a breakdown of an overall objective of the assignment is going to be when you first click into assignment. There's always going to be a box up here and some commentary on what you can do. To couple that, if you look below, this one doesn't have it, but on assignments, you'll see a series of PDFs, and that will give you the instructions, that will give you the rubric, and that'll give you some possibly an FAQ sheet of frequently asked questions from prior classes. And I encourage you guys to use that because it may save you unnecessary stress. If you look at that stuff, it may ease your mind about things that you are concerned about. So in this activity especially, what it's asking you to do is, first, there is a Web 2.0 tool called youtellstory.com. It's awesome. It's so user-friendly, and it's an amazing little tool. So you're provided with a YouTube link to show you how to use it, and it's about 2 minutes. It's not a big deal. And this one is asking you to create a story using images only. So thinking about what that story is in your head and coming up and locating 6 to 10 images that would tell your story visually. Now, this may or may not make sense at this current time, but it is in direct align with what Nancy talks about in slideology. And we're going to get into what constitutes an effective presentation in tomorrow's lecture. So she wholeheartedly believes that your visual story could be just as powerful as your verbal story. And with this with the first step of this activity is to get those images to tell your visual story. And that's all. That's all you have to do is put together a visual story of 6 to 10 images. Sound doable? Awesome. Awesome. And it should be fun, guys. This should be fun. This shouldn't be work. This should be something cool. We get to look for images that complement our little story, that something that we want to say. Okay? And there's a few things that will help you out in finding images, such as AP Images or CreativeCommons.org, which are impeccable resources for royalty-free, copyright-free images. Okay, going back to activities. Okay, just briefly before I start showing you Connect, before we leave for the day, I briefly want to remind you of the discussion board and the assignment. The assignment, that's the way that we're going to close the lecture tomorrow. So I'm going to spend a little bit more time on breaking down the assignment for you and showing what exactly is that we're looking for when it comes to your assignment. The discussion board, and I want to thank you. I'm not too sure if you guys are here or not, but I want to thank you for those that have posted to the discussion board and gave me things to read with my morning coffee. I am extremely appreciative of that. Thank you. So your first discussion is presentation history, and we kind of went over this in lecture yesterday, and it's it's really asking you to be vulnerable. Tell us about your experiences, your thoughts, your fears, and if you're confident, awesome, good for you. Enlighten us on what your process is. How do you exude confidence? Did this take time? Or was it something that you were born with? Was it something innately inside you? And offer your insights. Tell us your story. So I went in and made my initial post just to give you an idea of what you can do for your initial post. Of course, I've loved creative writing ever since I could hold a pencil and write. So my thing is writing stories. I love to write stories, poetry. That's my thing. Um, so I encourage you guys to utilize what you love. Use it. Use what you love in everything you do, and it will keep you happy. So as I said before, there are assets in all the assignments and discussion boards, and I was talking to you about the instruction PDF, the rubric, and this is for discussions, the RISE model, to give you an idea of what a good, solid, professional response is. Okay. So once again, today is Tuesday. The initial post, meaning you're going in and you're answering the prompts of the discussion board, and you're beginning your story. Let me go into this. Is due by Wednesday night, 11:59. Okay, so your initial post, where it says your post, that is where you create your initial post. If you want a green check to ease your mind to show you that you've submitted, you need to create your own post. Replying is awesome, and I thank you guys so much for taking the time to read my story. I think that's so cool, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel appreciated, so thank you for that. and commenting. So I encourage you guys to comment with each other. It's actually a part of the assignment. So a reply is going to be that. It's going to be a reply to a classmate or a reply to me. In order to get that green check that you've done your initial post, make sure you're posting at the top under your post. Clear? Cool. Okay. The other thing that, before we get off the FSO page, there are things now. It looks a little bit different for me than it does you. You have a couple of more features down here, but if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of your page, it's going to give you these orange links. So you'll have an FSO fact sheet, which will give you everything there is to know about the platform. You'll have technical support, where that is going to give you the email, the number, or even a live chat option with technical support. In my experience, the best way to contact support and get what you need is call them. So make sure that you have that on speed dial, or you know exactly where to go to get the number for support. The other thing that you guys have on the end of the page is to go directly to connect, which is extremely cool, because then you don't have to remember what the URL is, or you can go directly to connect. So I'm going to pull that up right now. Okay. Connect is awesome because it really does what it is titled. If you want to connect with students all over campus, this is where it's at. If you want to know what is going on in and around campus, this is where it's at. If you want to learn new things, Connect is where it's at. I'm just letting you know. So those of you that are new to Mac, I highly recommend this online workshop. I wish it was available the first time that I went to Full Sail. It would have saved me so much frustration. So if you are brand new to Mac, I highly recommend this course right here. Okay. Upcoming events, this is always updated, and things are going on all the time. Always updated. There's news feeds going on all the time. People sell things if they're about to graduate and they're moving back home. So if you're in need of any furniture, car, you could find that all on here. What I want to bring your attention to is, first, I'm sure you're all familiar with this right here. This is where you found a creative presentation and a PYP. If I don't think there is anyone currently in this class that has that problem, but if you have not finished online orientation, it's also under my courses. You need to finish that immediately so you can have access to the platform. Okay, so there are all sorts of featured things. This is going to give you updated news. Student resources are like advisors and student services, a list of all the clubs, all the departments that are in here here at Full Sail, and programs. Programs is cool because it will give you a list of everything that is available here, and it will also help you out for the final presentation, especially when it comes to knowing what you are going to be subjected to your entire time here during your program. This is a great way for you to get excited about your journey. It's something to give you an idea of what is coming up, what you're going to learn, the skills that you're going to have, the experiences that you're going to have. So this is a great way to get to know your degree and get to know what it is that you're going to be learning, and get excited about it. Tiffany has a question. I finished it, but it still shows up on the courses. Is it supposed to still be there? It may take a while to fade away. If you have access to our class and all the activities, you're good. I wouldn't even worry about it. I hope that answers your question. Cool. Okay, some of the bookmarks. This is just easy access to get what you need. So I want to bring your attention to the library, because the library, I know it sounds like an ancient, archaic term that what is a library? I don't understand. Well, our library is extremely cool, and you, man, I sound like a nerd there, didn't I? But it is, it really is. And you guys have the advantage because you could physically go there and hang out. There's Wi-Fi. You can rent games. You can rent movies. You can take out books. I know, books. Crazy thought to take out books, but they're there. They're there. Okay, so there's a lot of neat things that you can access right through the library. There is research databases. This is going to give you your EBSCO hosts. This is going to give you AP images, which that is referenced in the first integrative learning activity. So if you go into that, this will give you a library of images based on what you search, okay? So for instance, you want to look for animals, and you could also use the search bar to make it specific to what you're looking for. But all the images on here are copyright free, okay? They're available for you to use for your projects. So look at here, just this cute little polar bear. How adorable. Okay, so, say you're doing a presentation on cute polar bears. Bam, here you go. You have a library full of cute polar bears that you can use for your presentations. Okay, let's go back. My goodness. Connor, could we use our own images that we took for this assignment? Please do. Please do. Original images should be the default. That should be the first thing that you go to. However, all of these other outlets are available to you in order to do that. But please use your own images. That's awesome. And Lawrence, yes, that assignment in particular, the integrative learning assignment is images only. And this is all, if you read the objectives, it's all there for you. It's broken down. Okay. You'll also see LexisNexis. This will help you in researching. If you need any supporting articles down the line, if you need, especially for our final presentation, if there is a company that you have your heart set on, researching that company and knowing what their brand is and their philosophy is really strong to know. And we'll get into more of this as we progress through the month. The other thing that's available to you is Webstar Music right here. Webstar is awesome because if you want to spice up any of your presentations and have maybe a music loop in the background to put some personality into your presentation, Webstar Music has royalty-free sound bites that you can use. And it's all right there. All right there, right in one-stop shop on the Connect page, which is fabulous. The other thing that I want to point out, oops, I lost it, okay, is you can either, in the library, it has a link to lynda.com, but the other way that you can get to organizations such as the library is using the organizations tab at the top. Now, these icons are in alphabetical order. So you can also search for your degree program in alphabetical order. There's an icon or an app that you can click on and learn about your degree. So if you're in creative writing, here's creative writing. If you're in computer animation, there's one for computer animation, and you could find out about your degree. What I'm gonna show you is lynda.com. Remember that cool chick that I was talking about yesterday? And it looks like Jose is backing me up with lynda.com. She is a cool chick. She can be your best friend. And the awesome thing is when I first came across Lynda, there is actually a welcome video of her and her husband. So they actually exist. Lynda exists. And they put together this system for professionals and people to learn and advance and have skills and have support when they are going for jobs, or have clout when they are presenting a presentation to either execs or investors, whatever it may be. They now have this skill and support of that skill by using Lynda. So very easy. Go to Access Lynda. It's going to ask for your credentials to log in. Incidentally, this should be the only way that you access Lynda. If you try to access Lynda by typing in lynda.com on any browser, it's not going to take you through Full Sail, and it will ask you for a fee or money. This is free with your tuition, You have access to this library the entire time that you're here. Rochelle, you do get a certificate of completion right after you complete a course, which is awesome. And now there's a new function. I believe it was March of last year. Yeah, I believe it was March of last year. Linda and LinkedIn decided to build a relationship together, and now you can share your certificates right on LinkedIn. So as soon as you finish, you can upload that to your professional LinkedIn site, and bam, you have evidence that you now have that skill. Absolutely, Lawrence. Absolutely, you could put your certificates on your portfolios. I highly recommend that, actually. Okay, so Linda is a fairly easy. It's uh broken down. It's either broken down by specialized areas, or you can even type in, say you want PowerPoint, you can type in anything, and it will give you those program courses. The really cool thing about this is, of course, I recommend you to watch the whole tutorial and get the certificate. But if you just need to refresh yourself, um, they're they're itemized. So, for example, you go in here and it'll give you an itemized list of what is included in this session. So if you want something specific just to refresh yourself, you can go to that part of the video and just watch that and do what you have to do. Okay, so once you're finished, you would go over to your profile and go down to certificates, and that's going to give you all your certificates. Okay, it'll give you a chance to view and print them, or like I said, share. You could share now on your Facebook, Twitter, or you could add it to your LinkedIn profile. How cool is that? That's just outstanding. I can't get over that. I'm sorry. I think that is extremely cool. Okay, awesome. It is now a little bit after 11, and we are coming to the end of our session. So I'll just ask you guys before we wrap things up, does anyone have any questions for me? Any concerns? Any comments? Okay, let me see. Josh, I do recommend it. I do recommend it. I know that you guys are just starting out, but don't be afraid of that. It's a work in progress. It's something that is going to build and evolve as you build and evolve. And awesome that you have a website. Sweet. Okay, Rami said, will we be going over any of the chapters from Resume Tomorrow lecture? Okay, really good question. What happens with lectures is there is pretty much an overview. It's not a lot of time, and the concepts, especially the ones that are heavily weighted within the activities, those are ones that we focus on. Could we get to everything in the chapter? We try, although it is your responsibility to read the chapters. But I will tell you that we pinpoint a lot. We go over many of the concepts that Nancy talks about in Resonate and then Slideology. How is the attendance taken? Do we turn anything in on? Rochelle, no. There is no formal attendance for this GoTo session. That is a good question. For online, there is a system because we don't see them live in class for lectures, but this is just something that I wanted to do for you guys to just give you insight on, because I know that the first month is a bit overwhelming, and the first day is overwhelming. There's so much information. So I wanted to couple it with a session to give you some tips and record it so you have it throughout this entire month. But there's no formal. Lauren says, I was also wondering what chapters should we have read for tomorrow. I would say the first 2 chapters that are assigned, definitely. But again, things are highlighted in the lectures, but it doesn't, I don't stand up there and read verbatim from the chapters. So the reading is open the entire week, and it's awesome information. Every single, I would say every single student I've had since we launched the class in last July has nothing but great things to say about these 2 books. It just, on a personal note, I was so excited that Nancy was going to be part of our new class. She encompasses many of the same philosophies that I've had since I became an educator. So she is my soul sister, and I feel like you are really gonna love her, and just many of the things that she says just make sense. It makes sense, and it gives you confidence. The really cool thing is there's a lot of images and there's a lot of pictures, so it's not heavy on words. It's not heavy on pages and pages and pages of text. It actually goes against many of the things that she says. So it really isn't a lot of reading, and it's good for you. Trust me. And I'm not just saying that because I am an educator, and I'm not getting paid by Nancy Duarte to say that. They're really good, trust me. Okay, and Sarah asks, for the assignments with photos, could we Photoshop photos that we find online with photos that we take ourselves? Absolutely. If you are good with Adobe, first, I bow down to you because that's amazing. I'm still trying to learn, so absolutely. I encourage you guys to use images from personal images that you created. That's awesome. And Lawrence, thank you. I feel good now. Thank you. Melissa says, also about the picture story, do they have to be real pictures or we can draw them? Draw them. If that's your forte, absolutely, bring it. Okay, Sarah, I want to clarify. These are already existing photos that you would like to Photoshop? Is that what you're asking? And Jacob, yes. I mean, if that's the case, it goes with if it's copyrighted images or they're, say you go into Creative Commons, there's license that are conducive to each of the images. And with that license, it gives you permissions based on what the attribution license is. So if you go on creativecommons.com, it will tell you, it gives you a breakdown of all the license and what you can do to that image that is okay. No, if they're original photos that you took and they belong to you, you do not have to reference them. No. Jose, the objective says 6 to 10 images. If you want to go beyond that, I will not stop you, as long as they tell your story. So, guys, make sure that you're reading the objective because it breaks everything down for you. Sarah, hypothetically, if it's like a cartoon character that belongs to someone else, if that image belongs to someone else, then you need to attribute it in your picture. However, at this point, there is no formal way. We do not teach APA or MLA referencing, but wherever you do take the image from, make sure that you get the URL of that image, where it originally comes from. Cool? Awesome. Okay, guys. It is like 10 after. There's one more question. Here we go. Rochelle, it states at least half of our images must be our own. So that means we should have drawn or taken it, or are you basically just looking for 6 to 10 images that are not copyright and you will be fine? Okay. It should be a combination. If you want to use all your own original images, that's fine with me. If you want a combination, that's good. Basically, what I was trying to point out to you guys is that you have options and that you have resources that you can look for images that'll give you royalty-free and copyright-free examples to use within your presentation. Does that make sense? Sweet. And I want you guys to have fun. Have fun with this. There should be no stress. Just have fun. It's a way for us to sharpen our skills without really having, the pressure of a grade, or the pressure of having to do something, must do it this way. So I want you guys to have fun and relax and have freedom of expression, and just think about your ideas, think about your story, think about what you need in order to interpret something like this. Josh, I don't understand your question. Would you like to speak? Okay. Lawrence, I believe yes, it's the 7th. It is due this by the 7th. Yes. Okay, Josh. Let me find you on here. Okay,
Okay.
Josh, go ahead.
So you said so does this I believe I missed it earlier, but on when we get on here, do we have to like check off anything saying that we viewed this, or is this one just like a little test for that?
No, there's no formal attendance. I just did this as an extra way to give you guys a more visual of where you can locate things and find things, and also show you around GoTo and know that it's an option for you throughout the month if you need to get in touch with me or have sessions where we share screens and I look at things for you.
Oh, okay. All right then.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, guys. Is there any other questions before we break for this session? I know that you have a lot to do, and I have a lot to do. I have to close out my, the final presentations from last month came in, so I've a lot of grading to do. Let me all good. Cool. Sweet. All right, then I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow morning, bright and early, 9 o'clock. And if you have any questions or any concerns, if something comes to mind, please message me or email me. I'll be more than happy to get back to you. Again, thank you guys so much for coming on a day that you don't have class. I think that's awesome. And I wish you a great rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Enjoy.